The emergency was extended to the Guadalupe River at 5:34 in the morning, which officials say was already rapidly rising. And take a look at the time lapse. It shows the Guadalupe River rising 26 feet in just 45 minutes, from a gentle flow to a monster. And we pulled the data. Take a look at this. At 1 o'clock in the morning on Friday, the Guadalupe River was calm, sitting just under 1 foot deep. 4 hours later, by 5 a.m., it had climbed to nearly 2 feet. And then in the next 60 minutes, the water exploding upwards, reaching 14 feet. By 6:45 in the morning, it hit a staggering 34 feet. We do want to bring in now Democratic Arizona Congressman Greg Stanton. He serves on the Emergency Management Subcommittee in the House, focusing on the federal response to natural disasters. Congressman, appreciate you being on. And from your role on the subcommittee, what are you hearing about the speed and the scope of FEMA's deployment in Texas?
Well, the governor of Texas did ask for a national emergency declaration. President Trump did grant that emergency declaration. That's very appropriate. We can never, ever politicize national declarations, emergency declarations. We need to provide support for any state that needs it. It's what we owe our fellow Americans. And so I'm very heartened to see that state, local, and the federal government, especially emergency responders who are still searching for victims, and hopefully we can find more victims alive and increase the count of people that have been saved. I know it's over 800. It's incredible what they are doing on the ground there now in partnership with local, state, and federal resources. And we need to make sure that federal resources are always going to be there for communities that need it, because Kerr County, and the entire region is going to need help, not just now, right in this immediate circumstance where they're still searching for people, but for weeks and months and probably years to come. We have to be there for our fellow Americans.
Absolutely. And we have seen images of homes underwater, entire towns cut off, overwhelmed local responders for sure. How much of this burden should the federal government be shouldering, and are they?
Well, we absolutely should be there when localities and states are dealing with emergencies beyond their capacity to really handle. And obviously, a once in 500-year flood like we saw, where it rose 26 feet in a very short period of time, that's the kind of emergency that is going to go beyond the capacity of this immediate community to handle. And that's when the federal government needs to be there to help. And we're going to see, we're in the middle of hurricane season, so we're going to see it in hurricane situations. In my community in the desert Southwest, you're going to see extreme heat and people unfortunately dying as a result of that extreme heat. Wherever emergencies go beyond the capacity of a local government or state government to manage it, that's where FEMA comes in and needs to be there. And it's important that that be there now and for many years to come. People have to have the confidence that their fellow Americans are going throughout the country are going to support them in their time of need.
Is there a bipartisan appetite in Congress to strengthen FEMA before we move further into what you just mentioned, further into what's expected to be a brutal hurricane and wildfire season?
Well, first, the first responders, state, local, federal, are still on the ground in Kerr County trying desperately to find the missing people. And we hope as many as possible can be brought home safe to their families. The lady that was interviewed right before I came on that had clung to a tree for days, more than one day, and was rescued alive. What an amazing, amazing story. So all the focus needs to be on this immediate rescue mission. But there is going to be time afterwards to have this discussion about whether or not we need to make sure we have a fully functioning and well-resourced FEMA. That includes both not just after the fact actions by FEMA to help communities that have incurred an emergency, but also planning for emergencies to make sure that communities are well prepared and people know exactly what to do when hurricanes come or major floods come or other natural disaster emergencies. The better planning we do in advance, then the less impact is going to happen on these communities. So I'm obviously a strong supporter of a well-resourced FEMA. I think we owe it to our fellow Americans to have that in place.
Understood. Arizona Congressman Greg Stanton, appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.